Oh, please don't do
Ms.
this.
Turpin, you are an incredibly poor risk.
I've never done this to anybody
don't
before.
talk over me. Don't talk over me.
So do you want a jury trial?
No, I don't.
Right from the start, you can feel the desperation. Miss Turpin is begging the judge for mercy. But here's the thing. Once sentencing starts rolling, crying usually won't change the outcome. Judges see tears every day. The real question is, will the apology land, or will her record speak louder?
And ask her if she has any statements that she wishes to make in mitigation of punishment or anything further that she would like to present to the court. Ms. Turpin?
I just want to apologize to the victim's daughter. I'm very sorry for what I did, and
Okay.
I really just want to say sorry to her.
Right. Any other statements for the court, Ms. Turpin?
No.
Very well. Court will pronounce sentence in this case at this time. Ms. Turpin, there's one other order that the court wishes to consider in this case. This court, unfortunately, has to see many cases where vulnerable people are exploited by others. I wish it was not so prevalent. However, this needs to stop. You are not new to the court system. You have, I believe, 3 prior property crime offenses on your record. So you're not new to this, and yet you exploited this helpless woman who was the victim in this case. And the court does have discretion, despite the fact that the legislature has determined you're not a prison case, that the court can impose up to 60 days in the county jail as a condition of probation. And that's exactly what the court's going to do here, Ms. Turpin.
Please don't.
The court is going to order you to serve 58 days more because you've got 2 days of jail time credit against that sentence.
Can we schedule it?
Starting immediately.
Oh, please don't do this.
Ms. Turpin, you are an incredibly poor risk.
I've never done this to anybody
don't
before.
talk over me. Don't talk over me. You're an extremely poor risk to show up in jail on any type of schedule because you couldn't even make your sentencing on time today. Further, last time you were directed to appear at the Judicial Center and you didn't. Look, we're not going to talk over each other. I've made my ruling. You're not going to cry your way out of it.
Oh, yeah.
Please.
All right.
I got my grandkids outside.
All right. Are you done, Ms. Turpin, so that I can complete your sentencing? Again, the court has announced 2 days of jail time credit. At some point in the future, Ms. Turpin, you may have the right to seek expungement.
This is huge. The judge highlights exploitation of a vulnerable person. In the eyes of the law, that makes everything way more serious. Courts come down harder when the victim is elderly, disabled, or otherwise defenseless. It's not just theft, it's betrayal of trust.
They'll pay the cost of an appeal. They may ask the court to appoint a lawyer to represent them on appeal, and that they be supplied with the transcript of trial court proceedings. Pursuant to KSA 22-3608C, you, the defendant, have 14 days after this judgment in court to file any notice of appeal with the clerk of the District Court of Butler County, Kansas. You do have the right to appeal this sentence if the court has ruled adversely to you, the defendant, at this hearing. I will remind you that there's prohibitions against a convicted felon possessing a firearm, and that there are losses of certain civil rights, such as the right to vote, until your sentence is fully discharged. Ms. Norris, I wanted to ask you, of all of the financial assessments you were asking the court to impose, has the court covered all of those?
Yes, Your Honor, I believe so.
All right. Mr. Watts, is there anything further from the defense side that the court still needs to address?
I don't believe so, Your Honor. Thank you.
All right. The court is going to order Patricia Turpin into the immediate custody of the Butler County Sheriff's Representative.
Judge, please, my
until her custody can be transferred to the Butler County Jail to serve out 58 more days.
Please don't do it.
And Judge, what month did you want the payments to start?
Yes, we do need to come back to that. In light of the fact that she's going to be incarcerated essentially through September and October, of course, not realistically going to expect her to make payments during those months. So the court will start her payment obligation, as earlier announced, for the calendar month of November of 2024 and each subsequent month until her obligations are paid in full. All right. I think the sentencing proceeding is concluded at this point. Mr. Smith, thank you for your work on the case and your appearance here today, Ms. Taronis. Ms. Taronis, she's a little bit emotional right now. Do you still want to have a session with her?
Yeah, I'd like to try if I could, please, Your Honor.
All right. So I'm going to go ahead and recess this proceeding.
My grandkids are outside.
Ms. Turpin should stay. I'll just direct court security. She needs to make contact with her ISO so she knows what to do when she gets out of jail.
Please, Judge, please.
All right.
Let me schedule this jail time.
If
Please.
there's nothing further, the Turpin matter will be in recess at this time, and we can conclude the rest.
Proceeding on the lesser included offense of assault bodily injury as a Class A misdemeanor. Range of punishment is anywhere from up to a $4,000 fine and up to 1 year in the Bexar County Jail. If you have a plea bargain agreement with the state, the court does not have to follow your plea. If for any reason the court does not follow your plea and gives you more than you bargained for, the fact that you entered a plea will not be used against you, and you will be...
Quick legal insight. Defendants almost always get reminded of their right to appeal. But appealing isn't about retrying the case. It's about claiming a legal error happened. So unless there's a technical mistake, appeals rarely overturn sentences like this.
Whatever agreement that you have worked out with the state, I don't have to follow that agreement. So let's hypothetically say they want you to have probation. If I were to tell you, I'm not going to give you probation, I'm sending you to jail, then you can withdraw your plea.
Okay.
Because I have not followed your plea bargain agreement. Now, the conditions for the plea bargain agreement, that's something the court gets to decide. You understand? So if for some reason I don't follow your plea bargain agreement and I try to give you more than what you've bargained for, then you get to withdraw your plea. And it can't be used against you if you decide to go to jury trial. You understand? And by that same token, if I don't follow your plea, then what can end up happening if you withdraw your plea, then the state can say, okay, we're going to have to go to jury trial. We're going to go to jury trial. And maybe they won't be going to jury trial on a Class A misdemeanor. They'll be going to trial on the injury to the elderly. Not maybe, that's what they'd have to do. You understand? All right. Did you understand you have a right to jury trial, a right for you or your attorney to cross-examine and confront any witnesses the state would call in the right to remain silent? Did you understand by entering this plea, you were giving up those rights?
Yes.
And did you intend to give up those rights and enter into this plea bargain agreement?
Yes.
All right. Do you understand that to be your plea bargain agreement?
Yeah, but that lady actually has already assaulted me twice at my.
All right. So here's the thing. The only thing I'm looking at today is once I've gone over the admonishments for you and what your rights are, then what will end up happening is the state will present evidence, and then I'll make a decision on whether or not that evidence is sufficient to find you guilty. If I find that the evidence is not sufficient to find you guilty, then I'm going to find you not guilty and say that the state didn't prove its case. However, if there's something else going on between you and this other person, that is not before this court today. That's something else. So what I've just read to you, did you understand that to be the plea? Defense?
Yes, sir.
State? All right.
Here's a teaching moment. A plea bargain is basically a courtroom deal. The defendant gives up the right to a jury trial in exchange for a lighter sentence. But as the judge explains, the court doesn't have to honor. Imagine thinking you're getting probation, then hearing, nope, jail time. Risky business.
Nigger knocking.
Yeah, what is that?
Going and knocking on a door and running.
But why is it nigger knocking?
That's what.
Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't no? Why isn't it Caucasian knocking? Why isn't Asian knocking? Why isn't some other knocking? Why is it called that?
No, that's just the way they say it.
No, that's the way you say it because that's what you said.
That's what they. That's basically. I mean, all right. I don't know what else to tell you.
No, I'm just trying to figure out why.
It's
why would
not
you
like
call
a
it
race.
that?
It wasn't to be racist. The kids just kept knocking and knocking on my door, constantly doing that to me. They live upstairs. I did not touch this kid, and I really don't even want to sit here and plead to say that I did.
Oh, you can go. We can have a jury trial.
I don't want to do that because he says that's not the best thing to do.
No.
I just lost. Look, I lost a child. My son was 19 years old, was murdered just 2 years ago. I'm under a lot of stress already, you know. So I'm just trying to get out of this and get it as easy as
just what?
I'm just stressed out enough.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So do you want a jury trial?
No, I don't. I just want to get this over with. Do the probation, and whatever I have to do.
All right, so what was the race of,
You asked me that question. If you knew the answer to the question.
what is the race of the complainant?
Hispanic.
Hispanic.
Everyone's Hispanic in the instance.
Mm-hmm. And what do you, if I knew the answer, I don't know why you would say that. That's why I'm trying to figure out why you're saying it, because in the police report, they say you were intoxicated. So I'm trying to figure out,
Intoxicated.
that's what it says in the police report. It says, suspect stated V had knocked on her door and she came outside to see who knocked. And victim's family came down the stairs yelling at her, accused her of hitting the victim. Suspect kept saying she did not want to tell her side of the story and tried to walk away to go inside. I detained suspect to investigate further. And it says in here that there was signs of drinking.
Have gone into a new place to live. I'm leaving on Sunday because the lady kicked my dog the other day and she got up in my face and stuck her finger in my face and started yelling at me. No, I don't have a drinking problem. Yes, I lost my child on February 5th, 2023. He was murdered by a best friend in a gas station in Austin, Texas. And I lost my fiance 11 days before that. He had a heart attack inside my home. I've been under a lot of stress and frustration. These people don't leave me alone from upstairs. It's a constant fight with this lady. So I'm moving myself away from that environment. I've already lost my job because of her, that I had a job with for 6 years, working from home. And I politely went upstairs and told her, look.
This is interesting. The state isn't just pushing punishment, it's pushing rehabilitation, anger management, sober meetings, trauma services. The system is trying to fix the why behind the behavior. But here's the real question for you. Do you think these programs actually work, or are they just box-checking exercises?
State, you're requesting anger management and sober meetings? All right, and why are you requesting that?
Seems like that would be beneficial for the defendant to undergo.
We're in agreement with the state. We would have to probate the fine, Your Honor. As you heard, the defendant has lost her job. She's having to have moving expenses. She's indigent and court appointed, Your Honors. At this time, we would ask to follow the plea and to waive the fine.
So you're fine with anger management and sober meetings?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. There's going to be a $500 fine probated, proof of employment within 30 days, no employment as a home health care provider or with minors. There's going to be 1 year deferred adjudication, 80 hours of community service restitution. I think she needs anger management. I'm going to order anger management. Once she's completed that, then 40 of the hours will be deemed satisfied. And then I'm going to order 60 sober meetings in 60 days. TAP evaluation, that can be out of custody. Follow recommendations. There's going to be field visits 1 time per month for 6 months. Regular reporting by Zoom or in person. Regular random UAs. There's to be no contact with the following persons: Danny Ibarra, Samantha Coronado, and Brenda Espinoza. Probation, is there anything else she needs? Is there anything else you need from the court to be successful? Did you review the document entitled Trial Court Certification of Defendant's Rights to Appeal with your attorney? Did you understand it and did you sign it? Because it's a plea bargain agreement, because I followed your plea bargain agreement, and because you waive your right to appeal, you do not have the court's permission to appeal. Do you understand? Yeah. All right. And Ms. Abrams, see if maybe a referral to Center for Healthcare Services, maybe they can help her with any type of trauma. All right. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.